listening to the Transformations with Jayne podcast. I'm your host, Jayne Nakata, a New Zealander living her best life in Fukushima, Japan. I'm a podcast consultant and the creator of Pod Launch with Jayne, a system that helps you create your dream podcast without all the drama and hassle, leaving you more free time to do the things you love to do. This show is for people who want to hear stories of women who are doing amazing things here in Japan and across the world. You'll find loads of inspiration for how you can live your best life wherever you are. I'm glad you're here. Let's get on with the show. Hello and welcome to another episode of the Transformations with Jayne podcast. I'm your host, Jayne Nakata, coming to you from Fukushima Prefecture here in Japan. A beautiful day here in Fukushima. I'm really enjoying these autumn days. But yes, it is getting cooler. So today on the show, I have a wonderful guest, and I think she is the youngest guest we've had on the show. Her name is Lin Nishitani. She's a university student, but she also does some great work with Atlantic Pacific Japan. You'll hear more about them in the show today. But I just really love this conversation. It was so nice to talk to a young person who has found some purpose in their life through becoming involved with this organization, Atlantic Pacific, as a student and getting to see real world issues such as water safety, ocean pollution firsthand through those activities, and then have that guide her into her studies as she starts university. So if you have young people in your family who are going through school, then I think you'd love to hear what she has to say. Also, there are some great opportunities for kids who are, you don't even have to be in Japan to take part, but I think most of the opportunities are for example, summer school, spring vacation school, that would be really of interest to a lot of people here in Japan with kids who are hanging around during the holidays. I would love to send my kids to some of the activities they have going because water safety is such an important topic and it's something that is really not taken care of here. I know coming from New Zealand where water safety is a huge thing and we spend a lot of time teaching kids how to be safe in the water or how to be safe in the sea. Whereas in Japan, that just really doesn't happen unless you go to swimming school. And then you still don't really know how to swim safely in the sea. So yeah, please listen to this really great conversation with Lin. Hi, Lin. Welcome to the Transformations with Jayne podcast. It's great to have you on the show today.
Hi, Jayne. Thanks for having me on the show.
So where are you coming in from today? Where are you calling in from?
I'm in Tokyo right now.
You're in Tokyo. How's the weather in Tokyo today?
It's getting cold, but it's still all right.
It's still all right. Yeah, it's a beautiful day here in Fukushima. And I really want to be outside in this beautiful weather, but it's a little bit chilly. So winter is definitely coming. So Lin, tell us a little bit about yourself and why you're on the show today.
Right. So my name is Lin Nishitani, and I work for Atlantic Pacific, and I am a Japan project manager, but I am currently a university student in Tokyo. I have been working for Atlantic Pacific since 2020 June, so it's been more than 2.5 years. But I was volunteering for Atlantic Pacific as a translator a few times since October 2018.
Great. So we were talking a little bit before we pressed record that you have grown up in Japan, yeah? And you are, did you say half Malaysian, half Japanese?
Yeah, my dad is from Malaysia and my mom is from Japan. But I grew up in Japan the whole life.
Your whole life. And did you grow up in Tokyo?
I was born in Hyogo and I went to normal Japanese school, junior high school in Hyogo, and then I moved to Nagano and I attended an international boarding school.
What
Yeah,
was that
and
like? Was it good?
yeah, it was a great opportunity to
Mm.
practice English, but also to get to know many other different people from different backgrounds.
Yeah, that school looks like a really nice location. And did you do the IB program there as well?
Yes.
Yeah, great. Yeah, I'd like my kids to go to that school in the future if possible. Yeah, okay. So you grew up in Hyogo, so Kansai area, and now you're
Yes.
in Tokyo at university.
Yes.
I think you might be the youngest guest we've had on
Oh,
Transformations with Jane.
really?
You might be. Yeah, I think you might be. I'm trying to remember. We've had more than 100 episodes, so
Right.
but I think maybe mid 20s is kind of earliest, so maybe you're the winner. Congratulations.
Thank you.
Yeah, so you were talking a little bit about Atlantic Pacific in your self-introduction, and I think lots of people will be wondering, what's Atlantic Pacific? So please tell us a little bit about that.
So Atlantic Pacific is an NGO and has a base in UK and in Japan, but it started in Japan. After Great East Japan earthquake, the area we work at, it's called Nebama area in
Hmm.
Kamaishi city in Iwate prefecture.
Hmm.
Um, it got devastated by the tsunami, and the project started to revitalize the area. And as an international organization, Atlantic Pacific's vision is to combat global drowning. And as I work in Japan, we work with many young people, especially from kindergarten to high school students, to um, promote sea safety and also ocean awareness. And we deliver many educational programs to educate students about sea safety and also ocean plastics issue.
Hmm. Wow. Yeah, in Japan, I haven't seen a lot of sea safety training happening, right? So I'm from
Yeah.
New Zealand, and sea safety is a big thing. We have a lot of what's it called, like lifeguard school or beach lifeguard training clubs and things around the country, so that lots of people are good swimmers in the sea or are able to help if somebody is having trouble swimming in the sea or something happens, right? But in Japan, yeah, I haven't noticed those kinds of clubs or training opportunities for young people. So that's something that Atlantic Pacific is doing.
Yeah.
Okay. And so if someone is in Tokyo and they're listening to this episode, how can they get involved with what's going on with Atlantic Pacific?
So we have a summer camp every year. And at summer camp, the participants can experience different marine activities, including lifeguarding, fishing, swimming, sailing, and also getting on a lifeboat.
Hmm.
And especially young people in Tokyo don't really have many opportunities to experience marine activities. So we have most of our participants are from Tokyo or Tokyo area,
Okay. Hmm.
and they come to Kamaishi to experience different activities, and they really enjoy, especially lifeguarding or lifeboat activities.
Wow, that really does sound like an exciting way to spend your summer holidays. Have you done
Yeah.
this summer camp yourself?
Yes. This summer I was in Kamaishi delivering to 40 young students.
Oh, you were one of the camp leaders.
Yes.
Ah, okay. And what was the main benefit to the kids of coming on this summer camp?
I think the students didn't know each other before they joined this camp, but
Mm.
throughout the 5 days, they really bonded, and because they went through different activities together. So our main part of main focus of our program is also about leadership. So through different activities, students are encouraged to practice leadership, communication skills, and teamwork. So I saw a bond between different participants.
Yeah, I'd say so. You kind of have to get along with each other, don't you, when you're doing those
Yeah,
kinds of activities? But it's a great way just to break the ice and just get along with strangers, yeah, who become your new
right.
friends, yeah.
Yes, and also the participants' age varied a lot, but
Mhm.
we had grade 7 student, but we also had grade 12 student, but they really bonded together. They um, were playing all together. So it was great to
Mm,
see.
I see. So even though, so you're saying grade 7, that's junior high school first grade, right?
Yes,
Up to grade 12, which is high school
third
third
grade.
grade. Okay. So yeah, like what, 12-year-olds and 18-year-olds all getting along
Yes,
together. And wow, yeah, that sounds really great. An opportunity to learn from each other and make different friends of all ages. Yeah, I have two children and they are still too young to go on the summer camp, unfortunately. Maybe in a couple of years. So I will definitely keep that in mind. What a great opportunity for people, especially you don't have to be local, right? You don't have to be in Iwate to enjoy
no,
these. Yeah. Mm.
it's a great opportunity for those who live in urban area to sort of experience the Tohoku area lives
Mm. Mm.
because the Sanriku coastline is beautiful and the scenery you get to see in Kamaishi is beautiful. So I think that participants also enjoy being in nature during summer holiday.
Yeah, I'd say so. Wow, great. And also I see that Atlantic Pacific Japan has a special competition that they're running right now. It's open to entries right now. Can you tell us a little bit more about that? Because I think this is a really nice opportunity for kids or young adults as well to do something a little bit different from potentially what they're doing in their daily life at school.
Yes. So our competition is called Ocean Revival Competition. It's like an idea contest where we gather innovative, unique, and creative ideas to solve ocean plastic problem. And anyone under 25 years old can enter any idea as an individual or as a group. And we have a panel of judges who have expertise in different fields. So it's a really great opportunity for young people to actually start thinking about the solutions for this pressing issue of the world. And we started this competition last spring. So this year's is the second that we have. Yeah, and we are really looking forward to having many ideas.
Mm, okay. Yeah, I see some of your judges are very familiar to me.
Right.
Angela Ortiz, she was a guest on the show, oh, nearly 1.5 years ago. I know Angela and also Tova Kinoka.
Right.
Yeah, and Tova and I have a funny thing in common is that our children both have the same names. So she has two
Oh,
children, and I have two children, and her son's name is the same as my son's name, and her
oh,
daughter's name is the same as my daughter's name. That's very weird.
wow.
Yeah, very funny. Anyway, they are not the same age. That would be even more strange. And then you have Robin Lewis from My Mizu. He's a very cool guy. And who was the other one? Guy Perryman, is it?
It's
Yeah.
Guy Pearman, and I was actually on his radio.
Oh, you went on Guy's radio show. Oh,
Yes,
great. Yeah, I met Guy recently. He's very nice too. What a
yes.
great lineup of judges you have for this competition.
We'll have more judges to come,
Okay,
but we
some more coming.
haven't, yeah,
Mm,
announced yet.
great. Well, since I know many of the judges you have already, I can see you have some great judges there who know a lot about the environment and about the area of Kamaishi, etc. And so, can you tell us a little bit about last year's competition? What
Right.
happened?
So
Yeah.
we have two age categories,
Hmm.
and for the winning idea for the older category was to make lifeboat out of recycled plastic,
Mm.
and that was the winning idea for the older category. And the younger category, it was really interesting because we selected three winners first, and those three winners made presentation at the final event.
Ah, the
And
finalists,
actually,
right? Yeah, three
yes,
finalists. Yeah.
finalists.
Hmm.
And two of the finalists were really young. They
Oh.
were in they were still in elementary school, and they were second or third year of elementary school.
Mm.
So we really want to encourage more and more young people to get involved in our competition. And
Yeah.
so the winning idea for the younger category was a curry with rice, the Japanese traditional curry.
Mm.
And she shaped the rice as a shape of fish, and
Okay.
she put um, vegetables in rice. So
Hmm.
when you cut the rice, you see the vegetables coming out of the rice. And
Okay.
she wanted to promote the idea of ocean plastics and
Hmm.
how fish eats microplastics
Oh,
through
I see.
curry. So it was a really unique idea, and it's a really realistic idea.
Mm.
That's why her idea was chosen as a winner.
Wow, what a very imaginative idea to come
Yes.
from your very young competition entrant. Wow. Yeah, that's amazing. I would never have thought about that. Wow. Okay. So, yeah, that's really great. I'm sure that lots of people who are listening to this show have younger kids or sort of middle school age kids who might be able to take part in this. And there's still time to enter, isn't there? Because the cutoff date is
December 19th.
December
So we still
19th.
have a few more
Few weeks.
weeks.
Yeah, that's right. And it's not, you don't have to do a huge amount of work. You just need to create the document with some information about your idea. Yeah.
Yes,
Mm.
you can just enter a drawing.
Mm-hmm. And
Yes.
some
And if you're
explanation. Mm.
yes,
Yeah.
and if you are get chosen as finalist, we invite you to our final event in which you get feedback from the judges and we select the winner.
And that's in Kamaishi? The event is in Kamaishi or
We're
in
we're
Tokyo?
planning today in Tokyo.
Oh, in Tokyo. Oh, okay.
Yes.
Right. I see. So maybe not so far.
Mhm.
Very good. Oh, well, I really hope that lots of people will enter this, and I will be sharing this with some of my friends and hope that their children will be interested in taking part in this competition. It would be a really fun thing to be a part of, I'm sure.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay. So, how did you first become involved with Atlantic Pacific? What was your first sort of encounter with them?
So in my international school, I did an IB, and as
Mm.
part of the IB curriculum, we had our student initiated program project, and as part of the project, I went to Kamaishi in Iwate Prefecture with um, my classmates because one of my classmates was actually from Kamaishi,
Oh, wow.
and
Right.
that's when I met Kate and Robin, who are the founders of Atlantic Pacific, and the school my school and the school Atlantic Pacific works with is a partnership school.
Hmm.
That's how we had a connection. And since then, they were looking for translators. So I volunteered to be a translator in October and December 2018,
Hmm.
and also 2019 summer. And then after I graduated from high school, I took a gap year, and they are still looking for, so because it was a COVID time,
Ah,
they couldn't come to Japan. So they were um, trying to find somebody who could manage the project in Japan. And because I was taking gap year, I was looking for something to do. And I thought it was a great opportunity. So I signed up for it. And since then, I've been working as a Japan project manager. And I started university this September, but I'm still working with them.
wow. So it sounds like it was a great opportunity that came along when I think in your gap year, you couldn't leave Japan so easily, right? Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. And I'm sure they were happy to have you on their team. What's some of the things you've learned from working with Atlantic Pacific?
Mm, I think I wasn't very good at teaching something or speaking with young people, especially elementary school students or junior high school students, because I don't know how to act, like behave with them.
Okay.
But um, as one of our biggest programs is an educational program with young students, so um, I had to learn how to talk to them, and everything was online. So I tried to make everything interactive, our online programs interactive, and that's something I learned as a skill
Mm.
throughout the past 2 years.
Hmm. So now you're just starting off your university studies. Did that influence what you're studying now at university?
Yes, because so we had many online programs.
Hmm.
We delivered online programs to young people, and for that, I researched a lot about like ocean plastics or sustainability, and that actually made me want to study more about sustainability. And now I'm doing sustainability and management in university. So I'm at
Wow.
management department, but with a focus around sustainability.
Hmm. That's fantastic. And I think you can kind of understand how it might be useful in the real world. It's from your experience working with Atlantic Pacific, right?
Yes.
Yeah. What a great, yeah, experience that has been to give you some direction with your studies as well. Did you know that you wanted to do that before you started doing working with that?
No.
You didn't know. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, because I think a lot of young people think, oh, I have to choose something to study and I don't know what to focus on. And
Right.
yeah, but
So
if you
I'm
have,
really glad that I
yeah,
took a gap year and took some time apart from studying.
yeah.
So I really got to experience different things that I couldn't do much in high school because I had a lot of focus on academics. Yeah, so I'm really glad that I
Hmm.
had this opportunity.
Yeah, that's fantastic. Thank you for sharing your experience with doing this and how that sort of, if not affected, how that's influenced your studies, your future studies. Because I think we have a lot of parents listening who might be wondering, oh, my children don't know what they want to do. How can I help them? Well, maybe they can help them by giving them opportunities to take part in something like this, or finding these kinds of opportunities to join. So yeah, I think it was kind of luck almost that you found your way to Atlantic Pacific at the
Yes.
start, right? That sometimes, yeah, parents can help too by offering opportunities to their kids. And you just don't know what's out there sometimes. There's so many different things happening. So yeah, thank you for sharing that. And something that I like to ask my guests on this show too is what is something that you are dreaming about for the future? Do you have any future dreams, what you might like to do? Could be in
Um,
5 years, could be 10 years.
well, I'm not sure what exactly I want to do in the future, but I have a dream lifestyle that I want to live.
A dream
That's
lifestyle.
yes.
Yeah, tell me about
Um,
that. Yeah.
so I love nature, especially in Japan, and that's one of the reasons why I love being in Kamashi. because the Sanriku coastline scenery is beautiful, and I really love like sky, ocean, and mountains in Japan. So in the future, I just want to be in nature, like live in nature, and with a few dogs.
Dogs?
So that yes,
Very
with
important.
dogs.
Yes, dogs. Yes.
Yes,
Nature,
yes.
dogs, and?
I want to do what I want to do. That's
Mm.
yes, and not something that somebody else forced me to do. That's something I'm dreaming to live.
Mm. I see. This is fantastic what you've just said. Do you know why?
Yeah,
Because when you are making a decision in your future going forward,
yeah,
should I take this job or should I move there or whatever, you can look at your dream lifestyle and go, does it have nature? Yes. Does it have dogs? Yes. Does it have, XYZ? Yes. Okay. Maybe I'll try this. Or does it have nature? No. Oh, is this really a good idea for me? Or, should I think more carefully about this? So now you have your dream lifestyle you'd like to live. You can use that to guide your decisions carefully, yeah, in the
right,
future, right? What you're studying, the any opportunities you take in the future. It's
right.
going to be such a great help because if you don't have those, one day you'll wake up and go, wow, I live in New York City. I have no dogs and I have to go to work from 9 to 5. What happened to my dream life? Right? It's
Yeah,
completely different.
definitely.
Mm. Well, I'm really glad we talked about this today, Lynn, because in the future you'll be able to come back and listen to this episode. And so, how old are you now? Can I ask you?
I'm 21.
You're 21. Okay. So maybe even when you're in 23, you might come back and listen to this episode on the podcast and go, whoa, I was so young. I had no idea the amazing things that will happen to me. But also, you'll be able to say, yes, I followed my dream lifestyle. I'm doing things in nature or whatever. Yeah. It's good to remind yourself.
Right,
So, yeah, we've created a record for you to check back on in the future.
it's
And I
great.
have I have to ask, what kind of dogs are in this dream lifestyle in the
Oh,
future?
big dogs like golden retriever because I had a golden retriever a few years ago, but he passed away. So I want to have live with another golden retriever in my future.
Okay, so you like really big dogs. Yeah.
Yes,
Yeah, golden retrievers have a lot of energy and they're enthusiastic about everything, aren't they? Yeah.
yes,
Yeah, in Japan it's kind of hard to have a, a big dog like that,
yes,
right? But
yeah,
if you're in Iwate, I think there's plenty of space up there for big
yeah.
dogs, yeah. Well, it's been really fun talking to you today, Lynn. Thank you so much for coming on the show. Is there anything that you wanted to ask me, or is there anything that you wanted to talk about more that I didn't ask you?
Um, I just want to say thank you for having me
That's
today.
okay. I've enjoyed speaking with you today. And I'm
Thank
really
you.
impressed with this work that you have done with Atlantic Pacific. And if anyone wants to go and check out their website and other links, social media, etc., you can find all of that information in the show notes and see some of the work that they've done in Kamaishi to help prevent drownings in the future if there is another tsunami or something like that happens. I think there was some information about, is it Lifeboat in a Box? Is that what it's called?
Yes.
Yeah, can you tell us a little
Um,
bit about that?
so Atlantic Pacific delivered its first lifeboat in a box to Nebama Beach in Comanche, and the lifeboat is run by local residents.
Hmm.
And we use the lifeboat to train local people, and it's a tool for local communities to help themselves when something happens.
Right.
And so we call it lifeboat in a box because lifeboat is in a um, container, and it's sort of like the lifeboat is living in a house in a box.
Hmm. Hmm. Yeah, it's like a shipping container that protects the
Yes,
lifeboat when it's not being used, right?
yes,
And then the local people can just use it when they need it in an
yes,
emergency or something. And they know how to use it because they've been trained how to use it, right?
yes, yes. And we are
Mm.
trying to train more young people. So at summer camp, um, participants will get to ride on a lifeboat, and it's
Mhm.
a very unique experience, I think. So the participants really enjoy being on a lifeboat because there's
Mm.
no other opportunity, such opportunity for students to be on a lifeboat.
Yeah, I think so. I was at the beach this summer with my family, and I was very happy to see they had some lifeguards at the beach. Usually, like last year, there were none because of COVID and they shut the beach. But people went to the beach and people were swimming, and there was no lifeguard. There was no area for safe swimming. And so I didn't want my children to swim because I felt it's too dangerous. And so last summer, I was happy to see the lifeguards came back and they were patrolling in a kind of lifeboat while people are swimming. But I noticed they are very old. Like
Yes,
grandfathers, all of them are probably over 65 years old. And I thought, wow, what's going to happen in the future? Where are the young people who are learning how to do lifeguard duties or learning about the sea and learning about the waves and how the waves what happens with the waves in this beach at this
right.
time of year? Like there's a lot of knowledge you need, right? So that was a little concerning when I noticed that. Yeah. So I think in Kamaishi, hopefully, yeah, you can solve that problem with the
Yes,
activities from Atlantic Pacific. Yeah.
yes. And we also have a spring camp in March.
Oh.
And
Hmm.
because it's really cold, it's still
Yes.
really cold in March in Tohoku
Yes.
area. So
Yes.
it's really difficult to do different marine activities that we do
Mm.
in summer, but still we do in classroom activities,
Mhm.
and students will get to learn about sea safety, like waves and tides, and how to do search and rescue and all those knowledge.
Mhm.
And also we have a focus around plastics. So we have different workshops to learn about plastics and also get to start thinking about solutions.
Mhm.
So yeah, the application is also open for spring camp. And because our
Okay.
camp is
Mm.
very popular, we decided to host 2 camps this spring.
Mm.
So there's more opportunities for more students to join.
That's great to have something in the spring holidays too. Great. Um, more theory and sort of, yeah, different ideas and more
Yeah.
action in the summer, I guess. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
And
Okay.
also because the Great East Japan Earthquake was happened in March
Yes.
2011, we also um, provide opportunities for students to hear stories from the local residents who survived from the
Right.
disaster. So it's a great
Wow.
opportunity because more and more young people don't know about what happened in 2011.
That's right.
Yes.
Exactly. So I'm sure you remember because you were what,
Yes.
10 or so when that
Yes.
happened,
10.
right? My children weren't born yet. And so often I'm saying,
Right.
oh, when the big disaster happened, and they say, yeah, yeah, okay. But
Yeah.
they really can't understand how terrible it was because they weren't there. Yeah. It's
Right.
just mum and dad's boring talking again,
Yeah.
so yeah, it would be, yeah, it's really important not to forget, yeah, about what did happen, and for young people to understand um, just how dangerous it can be and how to prepare, how you can be prepared, and then you can handle the situation if something happens. Yeah.
Yes.
Well, thank you so much for coming on the show today, Lynn. Please keep in touch with me and let me know what's happening so I can tell lots of people about the activities of Atlantic Pacific, and all the best for the competition that's coming up. I hope you get lots of great applications for that. All right.
Thank
Thanks.
you so much.
Thank you. Bye.
Bye.
So So that was a conversation with Lin Nishitani. I hope you enjoyed hearing about her from her perspective and how she came to be working with the organization Atlantic Pacific, and also, yeah, just how that's really guided her in her life so far. I think that's really fantastic to have some purpose to what you're doing, even at a young age like that. I know I certainly didn't have that when I was that old. So, way to go, Lynn. That's awesome. I really hope that you or your children will take part in some of these activities that they have going on, especially the competition, which finishes soon. But if you're listening to this later, then you might be in time for the one next year. So keep your eyes open. I see they have lots of great judges from our community here in Japan. Some of them you may know. That's really, really awesome. So keep in touch, Lynn and Atlantic Pacific. I will be watching what you guys get up to, and all the best for the competition. I hope you get lots of great entries. And thank you so much for listening. As always, we have our end of the year check in episode coming soon. And also, I'm going to say this now so that I don't chicken out or forget to do it, but I want to do a solo episode as well before the end of the year, talking about some of the things that have happened recently and my learnings from attending, of all things, a Bruno Mars concert. That's all for today. We'll see you again soon. Thanks for listening. Bye.